You're listening to The Sword of Truth by All the Things Podcast Network, the alcohol-fueled chapter-by-chapter reread of the Sword of Truth series with a clay pot full of craft brew on the side. I'm Jade.
And I'm Nate, and on this episode, we are escaping into Chapter 42 of Stone of Tears. Man, you said that fast.
Yeah.
You were like, right out the gate. Bam!
Yeah, I'm ready to go, man.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's time to get into this.
I feel like that fits well with the episode anyways, because they're like, ready to go.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You know, we planned it this way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Can't prove we didn't.
This chapter, we've actually switched characters. We've been with Kaylin for like a lot longer than I thought we were going to be with Kaylin. And now we're with Richard and Verna, and they're walking through this like swampy tunnel of trees with walls that have skulls on top of them on both sides towards these creepy flutes.
Tunnel of death and greenery.
Yes. That's a lot nicer than the way I wrote it.
Sounds fancy, huh?
These two are also walking in silence because they apparently haven't spoken since the last time that we checked in on them. And I feel like they're kind of acting like children because I couldn't figure out what their argument was about for a minute. Like, I actually had to think about why they weren't speaking. And then when I did remember, I was like, that's so dumb.
Yeah, it didn't really seem like the last time we were with them when they were fighting that it was a huge fight. Like, obviously, they're not fond of each other. Okay, I understand that. But that's also the feeling I feel like they felt. That was a lot of feels. That was weird.
Ooh.
Like, okay, we don't like each other, but they each had said, don't blame me for the thing that you're not happy about, because it's really not my fault. And vice versa. So I thought it was like, okay, you don't like each other, fine, but we're stuck together, so we're just going to do what we need to get done with this. I didn't realize the end of that conversation turned into a, we're not speaking anymore.
Right. It doesn't really make sense to me because I feel like they both made very valid points. You can't be mad at the other person for making a valid point about how you can't be mad at me.
Right.
Okay. Anyways, they're not talking, and Richard refuses to break first.
Of course. They're both being super passive-aggressive. I can kind of picture Verna just writing into her journey book, but out loud, like, Richard did not listen again. We'll report and punish when we get to where we're going. Period. Underlined. Scribbles. And Richard's just like, how very fucking mature, Verna. Come here, Gratch boy. Who's a bitch? Is it her? Yeah.
Richard keeps disappearing. I hear him talking to himself. I think to himself. There's also weird noises. I don't know what's happening. He's being a dick.
It's a hell of a road trip, man.
Speaking of the road, it splits around a weird-looking pyramid up ahead of these two. And once they get past it, Richard realizes that it's made of human bones.
Fun. I mean, the death tunnel was bad enough, right?
Yeah.
So then this death tunnel leads you right to a thing that's obviously like tens of thousands of bones.
Yeah.
A lot.
It wasn't a small little period.
No.
Period.
A small little period? No, it was a very large period. I don't even know where to go with that one. But obviously a lot of death happens here, and so I don't want to be here. Right?
Right. And Verna doesn't even act like she notices. She's just like, it's a nice day.
Which is actually kind of terrifying because she knew that they were coming through here. She knew that they were going to have to deal with the people that we're about to deal with here in a second. And this giant thing, tens of thousands, may I say again, of bones is not a small little pile.
No.
So she's got to be just like walking like the Minecraft character Steve with his head cocked off to the side just a little bit. Not looking at it on purpose.
Yeah.
I think she knew damn well it was there. I just don't think she wanted to acknowledge what it meant.
She starts talking loudly to Jessup, like, oh, yeah. See the road up there? We're going to take a turn left up there. It's going to be real good. We're going to go into this dingy-ass city up here.
Through Jessup to Richard?
Yeah.
Like, Jessup, could you please tell Richard when we get here he needs to not fuck around because if he does, we'll die? Thanks. Jessup, could you tell Verna, I know, Thanks.
Bonnie, tell Jessup to tell Verna to shut the fuck up.
Jessup's just like, I ain't saying shit. Mm-mm.
Richard notices that even though it's wintertime, these people are readying their fields for planting because it's like fucking hot down here. But up north, where he's from, it would be cold as hell. So he's like aware that the seasons are different where they are now.
Yeah, it's funny that he's experiencing this for the first time because being in the modern age, even if you've never been to a place like that, you know they exist.
Yeah.
It's very childlike, but I like it. He's like, what the fuck? You can't plant that, dude. It's like February. Your shit's gonna die. What are you talking about, dude? It's like 80 degrees.
Yeah, we're good. Don't worry about it. The buildings in this little city all look pretty much the same other than height. They're like pretty standard shit buildings. They're not great.
They're nothing special. They're just buildings that you're like, okay, well, they can make mud and shape it.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, they're not like bad quality, but they're not pretty.
Fair. They are functional. And judging by the big pile of skulls, these people are not worried about looks. They're worried about function.
Yeah, that seems like an accurate statement. A lot of these buildings bridge the streets, and where they don't, clotheslines do. So it's like super claustrophobic feeling. This is kind of how I imagine like New York City would feel to me.
Oh, yeah.
I've never been there, but
the boroughs and a lot of those places are kind of covered too, so you're always inside even when you're outside. It's a little weird.
Yeah, that's how I imagine it would feel. I like to go there sometime to experience it because in my head it doesn't seem like you could breathe. Maybe just because there's so much shit there.
Yeah, but
people like it, so I want to see why they like it.
Well, they pay for them nice ass apartments, and they pay dearly for them, so they can be, 100 stories up in a nice big ass house up there somewhere.
Yeah.
Away from all the claustrophobia, like you said.
Yeah. Or, I mean, some people are just like thrive in that kind of shit too.
That's true. I mean, I don't mind the city. I never have. We grew up kind of in the country, but like near the woods mainly. I mean, country, but yeah.
Well, they pass people that live there, like you would in a city. All these people are watching them and going quiet, like I feel like happens in these type of stories when the outsider comes in. Everyone's like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah, it's the tavern at the Wild West, like movies.
Oh, yeah.
When the guy opens the door and everybody stops and stares at him. This is what's happening, but in live time on the street.
Yes. And the men that they see are wearing strange hats with symbols on them. The way it's described is as a brimless, straight-sided, round, dark, flat-top hat. Is this a fez?
I mean, I think so. The way I pictured it is kind of like a fedora, right? You chop off the brim of the hat, and then you flatten the top. So it's like an oval, but it's flat on top. I know they have a specific name, and I think fez might be it. But I think fezes are different because they're taller, and they have the little tassel.
The tassel. That's what a boo wears.
A what?
A boo. A boo, the fucking monkey.
Oh! I thought you were saying a boo, and I was like, what is a boo? I don't know what you're saying. A boo.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, now I'm with you.
It took me a minute, though, because when I was reading it, I was like, round-sided? What the fuck? I couldn't picture it in my head for the longest time until
Terry
I pictured that.
Very specific about the hat. No, it looked this way.
Yeah, black with symbols all over it and shit. They also wear a long earring in their left ear that they keep, like, stroking weirdly.
Everybody's doing it, too. So when he says long earring, is that, like, big loop or, like, a chain earring?
I was thinking, like, a fang.
Oh, so you're talking, like, gauges for ears.
Yeah, something like that.
People stretch them out, and they have the spike in their ear, and then it hangs down. Yeah. I used to have one of those, except mine went straight back.
Yeah, I was thinking something along those lines. Just, like, some spiky, long thing.
Okay.
Especially because they were stroking it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I was thinking it was a chain necklace.
That could be.
Like, the ones that dangle. A lot of ladies wear them at church because they look nice and they sparkle. Again, I'm assuming these are more functional and less flashy.
Yeah.
Just because of everything else we've read about these people, but just a guess.
I don't know. Verna tells Richard that these people are the Majendai. They live on a crescent-shaped piece of land that she and Richard have to make their way through. They make sacrifices to their spirits, hence all the fucking skulls everywhere.
Great, sacrifices.
Yeah.
Just what we wanted to know.
Yeah.
Now, actually, what you want to know.
Yeah. I would have been fine with you telling me that before we came into their land, but whatever.
For sure.
She tells him that they can't change the way that these people operate, so he better do what he's told, or the two of them are going to be on the wall too.
Which is a pretty open and clear threat.
Yeah, and I mean, she was kind of warning him that this was coming before, too. She was like, we're going to go through a land, it's going to be kind of fucky, you just gotta put your head down and do the damn thing, okay?
After coming through the Valley of the Lost with Verna, coming out on the other side alive, Verna looks at you and says, Richard, this next thing we're doing, I really need you to not fuck up, okay? Just put all of your instincts on hold and do as I say, because for real, this is gonna be rough. And you just got out of the valley, and you're like, what could it possibly be? Me personally, I'd be like, all right, Verna, I'm in. How much worse could it be than that?
To be fair, I feel like your confidence level in Verna probably would have dropped a lot. After
That's
that.
true. Richard's like basically leading her at this point.
Yeah. He's like, I mean, I'll take your suggestions into consideration, but I got your ass. You'd be stuck there still, so I'm going to do what I want to do.
Now, Richard doesn't know about the order yet, but he is the fountain of law now. Ha!
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. Once in an open square, they see about 1,000 men just hanging out with these earrings and the opposite ear. So they stand apart. They're so fucking observant. Like, okay, I would have noticed the weird earring thing probably if everybody had one, but I wouldn't have been paying enough attention to what side they're on.
Yeah, I don't think I would have either. I don't think I would have been like, oh, these people are different than those people. Good to know.
I think what made that possible is the fact that they were together. They're like in clusters and groups. So you talk to one group and they're like, everybody's over here. And you talk to the other group and everybody's on the other side.
Yeah.
But other than that, no. No.
Yeah, I mean, the sashes and the sword probably would have been the thing I pointed out before the earring, though.
These guys are also bald, no hats.
Yeah.
So there are a few subtle differences, but everybody's the same, it sounds like. It's almost a uniform of sorts.
Yeah. They have a little bit more sunburn on the top of their head.
What's different about you guys? We didn't get the hats.
Damn it.
Do you have any aloe? What? The sun is hot outside.
It's hot, yes.
I'm just saying, I once got a 3-hour tan in Jamaica, and it hurt for weeks. My arms looked like leather bags.
When you wore a white shirt, though, man, you popped.
Yeah, that month of pain was worth it.
Yeah. So in the center of this square that they've gone into, there is a platform with a circle of men sitting crisscross applesauce around a pole, but there's no $1 bills flying around, so we know that we're not in a strip club of some sort.
They're not making it rain, little finger bones and stuff?
Right. Just stick it in her G-string.
Who threw the femur? Fuck off!
That was too much. The music was coming from the women in the black sitting in a circle around them, facing out. A woman stands up and rings the bell hanging from the pole. See, she's doing something with the pole, but not what they're probably wishing she would be doing. Verna tells Richard that it is a warning to the enemy spirits and a call to arm for all the warriors in the square, which we now know there's like 1,000 warriors chilling around these people.
Yeah, they're just hanging out there. So the bell goes off, that puts everybody on point, and they know if they fuck around, they die. Also, about the lady in the pole, that is somebody's grandmother. Have some respect. Just a sweet old lady who might be an assassin. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe.
If she rings the bell again,